You know, like, let's make sure we're not on before I jump into anything. Yeah, lots of things. That whole thing really bothered
with an element of that, and then to like, whether it's true or not, to judge her and allow the internet to shred her. Like
the things that
I was like,
the things that people in our profession were saying is very
yes,
like I was like blown away.
I was
to have an opinion without really knowing what's,
Oh, it made me so bad. And just to see like men going on there having like, I'm like, you have no idea what it's like
to be.
To me, it's like it's like to be
a football player. Yeah.
You know, like you don't know my experience.
Yeah.
You know, and like I just feel like there was a lot of really nasty judgment and all that, and like.
Yeah, it's real easy to a woman of course, I mean,
love it. Or they say like that reason she's success. Like during COVID,
you have no idea. Yeah,
that girl was so hard during COVID, and like I saw, and anytime I would come and fill in, she literally saw me as a threat. She was always so helpful.
Yeah.
Like, and not every girl's like that.
Yeah,
like to me that doesn't give ambitious to the extreme type women to me. But also things happen, right? So like, who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
And again, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make her less of a. Even if you get that opportunity, you've got to keep it.
Yeah.
And to me, like, she's done such an incredible job.
Yeah. She's fantastic
so good at it.
on camera. But I will say, absolutely right. Being a woman, not always every woman wants to support you.
No.
And you are the poster child for helping young women and women in our industry that are like our equals. You really are someone that
but you this. Insecurity is where the jealousy and the nastiness comes from.
Right.
And I feel like most girls like work, do the preparation, feel confident about their sources and their information. Yeah. You're not jealous like catty ones. And it's the ones who haven't measured those tools of their craft and explain why they're not moving up, that they've got to go. It must be that somebody else. And it's just cool. Like,
yeah, no, it is,
and it can change tomorrow. I mean, that's my job tomorrow, and I could be begging one of these local stations to be back to be on radio.
Yeah,
you know,
I say, you are how you treat people who do anything for you. You know, waiters. I mean, I was an intern. I remembered how I was treated. Yeah, I was.
And we both had setbacks, and we both. Had
we're live. We are live on camera. Okay. Anyways, welcome back to the show, Radio Row. Erin Coscarelli.
We should have brought people in. I thought it was a great conversation.
It really is.
You weren't saying anything I wouldn't want.
No, you're
to be recorded.
You're absolutely right, and I stand by too.
That could be a show right there. You guys are this could be like girl chat show. I mean, you guys make millions. I mean, that was deep though. It was
girl
deep.
Chat. No, it is just true. I would say, be kind to everyone.
Yeah.
Regardless, it's easy to be nice to the boss, be nice to the PA, be nice to the intern. I'm an intern. I remember those that remembered my name. I actually love that. Anyways, speaking of amazing human beings, Slater, I adore you. I love not only you as a person, but love your work on that work with the Cowboys. First and foremost, how are you? You just here? What you got here 2 days?
Yeah, I got Sunday, and it feels really dirty to a lot of fans that I've been quote unquote filthy this week.
Right.
People who grew up in the Dallas area, I've always really loved just the energy, the culture, the identity of the Philadelphia Eagles. And I was actually joking with your boss over here. I was lit up because I said I just got done talking to Vic Fangio. I could literally listen to him talk
I love him so much.
For hours. There's this picture.
Him.
I'll see if I can show it here. If me and Stacey Dale were sitting there, you get to, have like this time with them. And it's like, find somebody who looks at Vic Fangio the way that I do.
He is incredible.
Oh my goodness. You're like giving him the, I like that.
Everyone's in here, talking about, there's some coaches who've been good for, like several years. He's been good for a decade. It was so fascinating to listen to him talk about his approach to defeating Patrick Mahomes, because he says, look, he's been here 7, 8 times. No one's been able to him the same way once. And I said, do you love the challenge of that? And he goes, do I look masochist?
No.
And so I just love that even I like Vic Fangio going up against such a generational talent, I think that's what game's so exciting.
Yeah. Well, it was really interesting having Solomon Wilcott just before you came on, and he's like giving Patrick Mahomes even 90 seconds on the clock, which, by the way, it happens every single time. It happens so many times this season, right? One score close games because the ball is on the, they get the ball back and they have a minute 30, and they're so good at the 2 minute down the field and just laser beam, and they score a touchdown and they freaking win the game. I mean, that's the problem with Pat Mahomes. Try to defend him.
No, was it 2 years ago when they're playing Buffalo in the AFC Championship, and Buffalo scores with like 25 seconds left,
right?
And they get a big return, and they freaking right there and take them down the way, and that was unbelievable. But speaking of Vic Fangio, man, love the guy. I got drafted the Saints in 1990. Fangio's the linebacker coach. Fangio's been there. Love the guy. He's a smart guy. He had the Dome Patrol, Ricky Jackson, Sam Mills, Hatswell, and Von Johnson. Big Fan has been, like you said, you're talking about tenured. I mean, this guy's for decades, and he's been a master for coach.
Yeah.
What's your take on them trying to slow Mahomes?
Well, I actually wanted to take it a little bit of a direction, if that's okay with you. You have the Saints connection and the linebacker connection. As I'm leaning into defensive school today. He talked about when he went to Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and said, I want you to play inside. And most guys at this point in their career, you don't want to, imagine when you were in college and somebody comes to you and wants you to make an adjustment. The fact that he had, the resume that he does, the respect that he does, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson obviously play long, but he said still is like, when do I get to play outside? But to answer your question now, I think it's the creativity out, Vic. Vic is one of those coaches. We talk about it even with some of the best quarterbacks. You've seen enough on the other side of the ball offensively, in his case, that I think that he should be able to come up with a game plan. But he's talked about just how offensive have evolved over the years. The way they're disguised things. And, I covered the Chiefs twice this year. Having Xavier Worthy too, with Xavier Worthy speed, are they going to get DeAndre Hopkins involved? It's they are more multi. It's not just Patrick Mahomes. They're not a one-dimensional team.
I think their defense don't get enough credit. Bags has been able. I think this is going to come down to a defensive game. If you look at what he's been able to do about Fangio, the number one defense, his creativity, what he can. Both these two D coordinators. This is going to be a battle of the defensive. Whichever plays best wins this game, in my opinion.
I think the number, and I've got to double check them, I think it's like 10-2 or 10-4 for teams that come into the Super Bowl with the number one ranked defense. Defense typically wins championships, but I'd like to see what that number looks like against a Patrick Mahomes, right?
Exactly. It's so funny that
I can't give betting advice. This is not betting advice. But I think what's so exciting. Typically you see these games too, especially in college, where it's not exactly two Titans going up against each other in the championship game. This truly is, so well coached young players, future of the franchise. Vic Fangio having the youngest defense in the league right now. Like, how are they going to respond to the situation? Brandon Graham coming back potentially 15 years. Is this his last one? So I think so many storylines. You just feel my covering this one.
Yeah. Well, and you cover Cowboys and NFL Network with Jane Slater. And it's interesting because just a year ago, Giants were big mad about Saquon leaving and going to the Eagles, and you're obviously very familiar with that. And how has it been watching the division and the Commanders, and now you guys have a Brian Schottenheimer. A lot of people not the happiest about that. Break down sort of that division and what it's been like with the Cowboys and seeing the Eagles now and Saquon and the Giants. There's so much drama in that division. I love it.
Least to beast in a year, I think what was fun to watch is even just the renaissance of the run back this year.
I love that.
The Cowboys chose not to put a value on it. Did it
Why?
by committee.
What was up with that? Because you guys said, okay,
she just has to
I just saw you take that breath.
You got 2 hours.
You looked like you got ready to punch me. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. Let me back. You guys passed on Saquon. You guys said he didn't work, and not at King Henry. What is it? But why? Help me, because you were these things. Jerry Jones. Think about Jerry had the great year that the Cowboys had a great running back. Why the philosophy, and why some emphasis on Dak?
Where's my camera? In here.
Bring it in.
Get in here.
Time for her.
Jerry Jones is a billionaire, but doesn't to spend money. It is the crazy. I kept saying this throughout the coaching
They
process.
paid Dak 16. Well, he's just a guy. And no disrespect. He is a top 5, 7, 8 quarterbacks in the league to me. So, but
Jerry believes he is. And so I think that's what fans.
Okay.
The buck stops with Jerry.
Okay.
But I will say that collaboratively, this group, they do a really good job of draft and develop. So they love their guys, right? And if you look at it, the Pro Bowls, the guys who've gone on to free agency, a lot of them going Commanders this year, that's where they put all their resources. But what was crazy to me is, I talked to Rick Henry. He called, they didn't even pick up the phone.
Right.
It was his peak, and they talked to him. They even talked to him about the head coaching job.
What?
With the Deion Sanders thing, I still believe that Jerry, that no matter what they say, was interested in the idea of it. And I with it, Deion, for his part, was interested in the idea of Jerry asking him what that would have led to. I don't know, but I think it also back to the money, And so in Schottenheimer, they found was a younger version of Pete Carroll, which plays out. They can pay him cheaper.
Right.
And then when you look at some of the players, I could make a comment that you should have gone and emptied the bank for Derrick Henry and what the trajectory of the season looked like.
Right.
Would Dak have gotten hurt in Atlanta? Was Dak doing too much in Atlanta? And again, it's
very true.
It's a game of what ifs. But they did say at the press conference this year, and we'll see after they announced Schottenheimer, that they were going to maybe approach free agency a little differently. I'm sure Mike McCarthy loved hearing that. But again, we'll see. But they do have a lot of money tied up right now, and they got to figure out what to do with Mike Parsons.
You can
You've got Dak Prescott. You've got CeeDee Lamb.
So how you? I got it. I'm sorry. You're here. I need you because you're the guy.
She is the gal.
Dallas Cowboys American team. Look, I played this game. I went there. Moose Johnson, who was getting ready to retire. I wanted me to come in, block. So it's interesting just knowing that organization and the play for everyone level. So so when you're looking at that and you paid at $62 million, you set the bar even higher, and now it's like for who's a good quarterback but not great, not elite. So now you're talking about because you that move. You can't bring back past Michael Parsons. You're not. You think you're gonna be able to? I don't think you would sign him.
Yeah. So the thing is, Jerry, when he was in his heyday winning all the Super Bowls, he had a credit card without a spending limit. There was no cap, and so that's why Jerry will tell you if you had a blank check, he'd write you a check to the Super Bowl. I always push back. Well, then how does Howie Roseman do it? With the Eagles, how have the Rams done it? They always say, well, you're mortgaging your future. Well, how is mortgaging and he's still getting here? So it's a completely different philosophy. It's a lesson in futility, trying to, argue and change it with them. This year when I asked him, why didn't you pay CeeDee Lamb earlier? That's when he kept saying, we're waiting for the leaves to fall. Well, at one point, all leaves had fallen off the tree. And then you didn't sign CeeDee Lamb until we got camp. Until we get to camp. And then CeeDee Lamb will tell you, and so will that he was still knocking off the rust. You went ahead and pay everything he wanted, just like that.
Yeah.
Brandon.
So why are you holding out? It's like he always jokes like I get lights of fire in him. I think his juice is going. It's like he's a matter and he's out in the oil fields.
Well, can you guys win with this? Because when you were winning, you're winning. When who was the coach? Who won Super Bowls?
Jimmy.
And you got what happened because they both of them have. And he's a winner. Can you win? He's going to meddle with the. Do you think is it perception versus reality? Does Jerry get in the kitchen and is he trying to be the chef, the cook, and pay for and go get the groceries? Is he doing too much in your opinion?
Yes, and I think all of us that cover him tell him that, but he will push back just as hard at that insinuation. And I do see the other side of the coin, right? Like his argument is, why have a GM when ultimately the GM has to go through anyways? And as he will describe it, it is a collaborative process with Will McClay, who of course I think is the biggest offseason acquisition, is getting him to come back, because this is a guy I think would have been high demand, and he's stuck around because his son was still in school, and he's always said, I want to get one for the old man. There is a loyalty in that building as it relates to the the front office. So I think the reason why I say it shouldn't change is because I've seen them bring in outsiders, whether they outside coaches without a familiarity to the organization, or some of these out free agents, it does not fit into the ecosystem that is the Dallas Cowboys. And I think until and I'm not speeding this up or being morbid, I think until Jerry passed, and then they decide what Steven's role looks like. Will Steven even be as on when it wasn't his baby? Jerry, this was his baby. He mortgaged everything. How do you find that passion in your son or somebody else? And so I think that's how he looks in the mirror every night and feels good about he runs the organization. And I get it, right?
Yeah. But you know what? I mean, look, it's not lost on me. It is the most popular team in the NFL for a reason. People are passionate about it. They're curious. They love some Jerry Jones. They love his decisions. Not always, but I think people it's like a soap opera, and people are here for the tea, and no one does better and spills the tea and tells the truth and really does, I think, share what is going on in Dallas better than Jane Slater. Honestly, it really, it's fun to watch you sort of break down everything, and really, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens, because I know a lot of Cowboys fans are not happy about the Queen hire, but I agree. It's an interesting perspective. Pete Carroll with the Raiders right now, under the tutelage of Tom Brady, I guess. It'd be interesting to see how that franchise that has not done very well, spent a lot of money, and it's they're not going to the postseason after years. So it'll be interesting.
I do want to say this, and I think is your dad still around?
No, he's passed.
Okay, so all of us here will understand the significance of a father, right? I was struck by the opening press conference with Brian Schottenheimer.
Love Brian.
Talking about how he had kept a card in his wallet, from a young age, that one day he wanted to be a head coach. And the first call he made when he got it was to his mom, and they were crying. And he said, I want to do this for Dad. And I get chills talking about it because, I've lost a family member. You've lost a family member. You have. As much as people look at the stats, I sometimes think the layer that women bring to this job is understanding kind of this subtleties and the nuances of how the psychology of some of the coaches. The idea that he wants to do it, and he to do something his dad had. Sports fans are going to roll their eyes at that.
No,
but there was some to that where I don't know, guys. I find myself going a little bit deeper, a little bit more, because there's something there to that.
Man. You get the 9 shot and Brian.
I'm already,
and it makes you root for him in a different capacity because it becomes relatable, right? I mean, very tight with my dad. Lost him a few years ago, and Jane has really been someone that's been there for me with her own respective loss, and I think that's what we that motivates us to do the things, to be a good person. It's like to make the people that we love so much who we may have lost proud,
Right.
So
and they really had a culture problem in there for a while, and even Zach Martin. I can say it based on my conversations with players, but to hear a player say it on Radio Row this week, it was off, and they sort of needed that new voice. And as much as people don't like this idea of Brian Schottenheimer because he's not Dion, and that would have been fun, or Pete Carroll, or even Kellen Moore, he said in the press conference, he says, I'm really good at X's O's, but I'm even better at relationships. And I saw so many players show up to that introductory press, and I just give them a little bit of time is all I'm saying.
I'm with you. And real quick, Marty Love. I played. Marty was in San Diego with the Chargers. I love Marty Schottenheimer. He was a team player. He loved family. Brian, Jamie, amazing. Brian was the coach there too. It's a coordinator on camera. Brian Schottenheimer is loving, and he's tough, but he's committed to the. You got a good man there. So he's a good man, and he knows post football. I do believe it's not the sexy, attractive name like you said, but this guy and Pat, his mother, I know the family very well. You got a guy that is going to fight, and he will build culture. He put together a leadership team. He's going to make guys come in. He's going to bring the wives and the husbands together. The guy, they know how to build. Marty did a great job, 14-2, 15, with the Chargers. The kind of record. Brian's a good man. He's from good stuff. So I'm gonna be patient with you.
And I said to him, I said, what do you want to be remembered for when you're done here with the Dallas Cowboys? And he said, creating one of the best cultures in all of sports.
Wow.
I mean, I was
Brian.
I was really impressed, but you obviously have that experience with them. And so, I can sit here and tell fan, be patient, that they'll tell me that I'm carrying the Joneses water. I don't a lot. I spill a lot, but give them a chance. Nobody was excited about Kevin O'Connell.
No,
That
right.
didn't feel like a big splash. Look what he's done.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, listen, Jane is so much fun
I
to
love her.
work, listen to. You got her out on social media. Her Instagram game is fire.
Right.
Okay. And thank you so much. Like I do. I appreciate.
There's so many good girls in this year.
I really do. I appreciate how you work, and I just appreciate how much you people, and you do. You really do. You put yourself out there, and she's such a girl's girl, and you're really amazing at your job. So I'm done flattering. I love her though. She is
Thank
amazing.
you guys. Seriously, there's a lot of more important people here today, so I appreciate it.
No,
So
thank
nice
you,
meeting
Jane Slater, NFL Network with the Cowboys. What a treat we got to have. She is so fun. All right, guys, we're gonna take a quick break. Stick with us. Erin Coscarelli, Lorenzo Neal, love you, Jane. We'll be right back live at Radio Row. Super Bowl 59. How fun is Jane? Is she not the coolest? She really is. I'm sorry. I'm a fangirl. I don't care. I don't care.
I love you that you're and Jane's awesome, but you're awesome. You could just tell you see the love that she has for you and the respect that she has for you and admiration.
No,
goes both ways.
Look,
both ways.
The sports broadcasting,
Yeah.
it is not easy,
No,
male or
I know.
female. It's tough when you're a woman to really have camaraderie where women, support each other. It means a lot. I will say she does put herself there to protect a lot of women, and that's what that was. Like she really had it for me during some tough times when I lost my dad. So, and by the way, that's why it brings us together.
Yes,
Right? The story Ryan Schottenheimer and wanting to do this for his dad. Me tear up. I'm a little bit of a softie. I love my.
Same here.
Yeah.
So I appreciate
Very cool.
Yeah.
She's such a great storyteller. She really is one of the best in the business. All right, we will take a quick break. Tyler Dragon of USA Today is gonna stomp by.
He's gonna stop by. I'm gonna take a break.
You're taking a little beat.
Okay. You and Tyler are gonna knock it out the park for a little bit, and then I'll
so
come back and see you.
Fun.
Love you. You're the best. I'll come
hurry
back.
Up.
Absolutely.
Hurry up. All right, we'll be right back. That was
great. That was
awesome.
awesome.